This presentation is a production of the Animal Science Department at Purdue University.
Hello, welcome to the Purdue Beef Team video series of reproductive management. I'm Dr. Alan Bridges, Assistant Professor in the Department of Animal Science and the State Extension Specialist for Reproductive Management. For today's video series, we're going to go over proper CIDR insertion in beef cows or beef heifers. Laid out before you are the materials you'll need to properly insert a CIDR into a beef cow or a beef heifer. These items include latex gloves, paper towels, the CIDR insertion device or CIDR insertion gun, lubrication, preferably a non-spermicidal lubricant. The CIDR is available through Pfizer Animal Health, and CIDR stands for Controlled Internal Drug Releasing Device. The CIDR contains 1.38 grams of progesterone and is inserted into the vagina, as I will demonstrate later, to release a constant source of progesterone to the cow. Additionally, you will need a bucket of water that contains a mild disinfectant. Some of the disinfectants commonly used include Nalvasan or Effersan, both of which should be mixed at the recommended dilution level into the water. This allows you to clean the CIDR applicator or the CIDR gun between each cow to minimize the transfer of infection or disease from animal to animal. Now I'm going to demonstrate how to load the CIDR into the CIDR applicator. The CIDR applicator is in the water that contains the mild disinfectant. Remove the CIDR applicator from the water, shaking to remove excess water. The CIDR has a tail, the body, and two flaps. Insert the tail of the CIDR into the applicator as such, trying to ensure that the tail is pointed down out of the groove. Next, fold the wings of the CIDR in, collapsing them together, and further press the CIDR into the application gun, trying to ensure that the wings come together at the end to minimize discomfort to the cow when inserting the CIDR. Next, before inserting the CIDR into the cow, add ample lubrication to the CIDR and the CIDR gun. The way the CIDR works and stays into the cow is you insert the CIDR into the vagina at a slight upward angle. Once the CIDR is in place, depress the handle of the CIDR applicator, thus allowing the wings of the CIDR to expand, holding the CIDR into the vagina. Then remove the applicator, and the CIDR will stay in the vagina for the predetermined time that you want for the synchronization protocol. Now that we have the CIDR loaded into the CIDR applicator, we'll demonstrate how to properly insert the CIDR into the cow. To insert the CIDR, approach the cow with caution, clean her vulva with paper towels to avoid dragging any fecal contamination into the vagina. Once the vulva is cleaned, spread the vulva lips with one hand and insert the CIDR and applicator at an upward angle, ensuring that the tail of the CIDR is pointed down. Insert the applicator until resistance is felt. Depress the applicator trigger and slowly pull the applicator back out. Again, ensure that the tail of the CIDR is facing down to minimize the chances of the CIDR being pulled out during the estrous synchronization protocol. Between each animal, it is important to clean the CIDR application gun. To do so, use the water that contains the mild disinfectant, trying to ensure that all fecal material is removed off the CIDR applicator. This minimizes the chance of spreading disease from animal to animal.
Now that we've reviewed the materials needed and the proper procedures for inserting a CIDR, let's go into more detail on what a CIDR is and how it can be used for reproductive management in beef cattle. A CIDR contains progesterone, the hormone naturally produced by the corpus luteum on the ovary. Progesterone has several functions in reproductive processes. Progesterone is required for maintenance of pregnancy. Progesterone also prevents the expression of estrous or heat and blocks ovulation. Additionally, Progesterone, when administered to beef cows or prepubertal beef heifers, can stimulate non-cycling females to initiate estrous cycles. When we insert a CIDR into a beef cow, the CIDR releases progesterone and mimics the actions of the CL, and thus provides a continuous source of progesterone to the female while the CIDR is inserted. One of the major uses for CIDRs is in estrous synchronization protocols. CIDRs can assist in tightening the synchrony of estrus. They prevent the premature expression of estrus in some timed AI protocols. They can induce non-cycling or anestrous cows to initiate estrous cycles, and can induce puberty in prepubertal heifers. Estrous synchronization programs that utilize CIDRs also utilize other drugs, including gonadotropin-releasing hormone, or GnRH. Common products that are GnRH include cisterellin, Bactrel, Fertigil, and Ovasist. Also, prostaglandin F2 alpha is utilized. Products that are prostaglandin F2 alpha include Lutalize, Estromate, Prostamate, Estroplan, and NSYNC. When using these products, please follow label instructions for dosage and storage. The CIDR Sync program is an estrous synchronization program that utilizes a CIDR. On day 0, a CIDR is inserted. 6 days following CIDR insertion, animals receive an injection of prostaglandin F2 alpha. On day 7, the CIDRs are removed. Animals should come into estrus between day 7 and day 12 of the program. Most animals will be in estrus between 48 and 72 hours following CIDR removal. Another estrous synchronization product that uses a CIDR is the Select Sync Plus CIDR program. This program involves administering GnRH on day 0 along with inserting a CIDR. 7 days following CIDR insertion, and prostaglandin F2 alpha is administered, and the CIDR is removed. Cows will be detected for standing estrus following CIDR removal and prostaglandin F2 alpha. Most animals will be in heat between 48 and 72 hours following CIDR removal. CIDRs are commonly used in timed AI estrus synchronization programs, such as the CoSync plus CIDR timed AI program. The CoSync plus CIDR timed AI program involves administering GnRH on day 0 when the CIDR is inserted. 7 days following GnRH administration and CIDR insertion, the CIDR is removed, and all cows receive prostaglandin F2 alpha. Unlike estrus detection programs, timed AI programs do not require cows to be observed for behavioral estrus. Rather, in the CoSync plus CIDR program, 54 to 66 hours following prostaglandin F2 alpha and CIDR removal, all cows are inseminated or timed AI'd along with receiving GnRH. Thus, these animals are inseminated at a predetermined time rather than based on the expression and detection of estrus. A newer program that utilizes the CIDR is the 5-day CoSync plus CIDR timed AI program. In this program, animals receive GnRH on day 0 and a CIDR is inserted. 5 days following CIDR insertion and GnRH, the CIDR is removed and animals receive the first dose of prostaglandin F2 alpha. 12 hours after the initial dose of prostaglandin F2 alpha, another dose of prostaglandin F2 alpha is administered. In this program in beef cows, both doses of prostaglandin F2 alpha are required for this program to be the most effective. 72 hours following the first dose of prostaglandin F2 alpha and CIDR removal, cows are timed AI'd and receive another injection of GnRH. The CIDR Select program is another program that can be utilized with either estrus detection or can be modified to allow for timed AI. The CIDR Select program involves inserting a CIDR on day 0. The CIDRs remain in the cows for 14 days. 14 days following CIDR insertion, the CIDRs are removed. 9 days following CIDR removal, cows receive GnRH. 7 days following GnRH administration, cows receive prostaglandin F2 alpha. Estrus can be detected following prostaglandin F2 alpha for 5 days. Cows observed in heat should be inseminated following estrus observation. Timed AI can be incorporated into the CIDR Select program. With the timed AI program, 72 hours following prostaglandin F2 alpha, all animals are inseminated with a administration of GnRH. These are a few of the programs available for synchronizing estrus in beef cows that incorporate the CIDR. For more information on timed AI or estrus synchronization programs, please contact Dr. Alan Bridges at Purdue University. Thank you.